What if every second on your watch is part of an interstellar countdown that began before humans existed? Something is happening to Earth that scientists can't explain publicly. Our planet's rotation is changing, accelerating, then slowing following mathematical patterns that defy natural explanation. The International Earth Rotation Service claims these are normal variations, yet internal documents reveal a terrifying reality. Earth functions as an enormous quantum energy capacitor within a vast cosmic network, periodically harvested by intelligences originating from Sagittarius A. Even more disturbing, leaked Pentagon reports confirm competing non-human factions are engaged in chronometric warfare over Earth's rotational parameters, with our planet caught in the crossfire. Most telling, ancient megalithic structures worldwide have begun emitting synchronized electromagnetic pulses precisely 72 hours before each rotational adjustment stones, silent for millennia, now activating as Earth approaches what classified quantum physics research identifies as the Great Synchronization of 2029. What are they preparing for? By the end of this investigation, you'll never look at a ticking clock the same way again. Since 2020, Earth has been exhibiting rotational behavior that defies conventional understanding, first accelerating to the shortest days ever recorded, then mysteriously decelerating again. While scientists feed us convenient explanations about melting ice caps and core oscillations, classified astronomical data tells a far more terrifying truth. Our planet isn't simply changing its spin, it's being precisely calibrated. Earth functions as an enormous quantum energy capacitor within a vast interstellar network, storing and releasing vibrational energy through controlled rotational adjustments measured in milliseconds. The evidence surrounds us. Unexplained gravitational anomalies during rotational transitions, inner core oscillations that mirror binary sequences, and global consciousness shifts that spike when Earth's rotation reaches specific velocities. Each microsecond adjustment isn't merely affecting our clocks, it's altering our timeline, harvesting quantum potential, and preparing Earth for what ancient astronomers called the Great Synchronization. The true conspiracy isn't just who controls Earth's rotation, it's why they've been doing it since before human civilization began. In June 2024, the International Earth Rotation and Reference Systems Service, IERS, released what appeared to be a routine scientific announcement. Earth, they reported, had experienced a period of accelerated rotation between 2020 and 2021, logging some of the shortest days on record, but had since begun slowing again. This statement, buried in technical jargon and framed as natural variation, received minimal mainstream attention. The official explanation, a complex interplay of core dynamics, atmospheric angular momentum, and ocean currents, natural forces causing minor fluctuations in our planet's rotation speed. These variations are completely normal, assured Dr. Elena Kostova of the IERS in a press conference that received suspiciously little media coverage. Earth's rotation naturally speeds up and slows down by milliseconds over various timescales. There's absolutely nothing to be concerned about. What Dr. Kostova and her colleagues failed to mention, according to documents leaked from the Arecibo Observatory before its suspicious structural failure in 2020, was the mathematical precision of these rotational adjustments. Analysis of Earth's rotation data from 1973 to present, conducted by independent researchers using algorithms designed to detect artificial patterns, reveals something impossible. Earth's rotational variations follow a complex mathematical sequence that cannot occur naturally. The millisecond adjustments, when plotted against time, produce a binary pattern resembling an encryption key. I was analyzing Earth rotation data for a climate study when I noticed it, explained Dr. Marcus Chen, former NASA contractor who disappeared 3 weeks after sharing his findings. The variations aren't random or chaotic, as natural systems should be. They follow a precise mathematical sequence, with a periodicity of approximately 56 months. Nature doesn't create perfect mathematical patterns, intelligence does. The classified portion of a 2022 report from the International Astronomical Union, obtained by 3 separate whistleblowers, contains a disturbing admission. Earth's rotational changes correlate with specific astronomical alignments involving objects beyond the orbit of Neptune. The precision of these correlations exceeds 99.98%, a statistical impossibility for natural phenomena. Look at the data from 2020 through 2021, when Earth recorded its shortest days, explained former Pentagon astrophysicist Catherine Reynolds in recorded testimony before her security clearance was revoked. Those precise rotational accelerations occurred exactly as a previously unknown object at the edge of our solar system reached specific coordinates relative to Earth. This isn't coincidence, it's calibration. Most disturbing is what government agencies aren't studying. According to documents marked Cosmic Synchronization Protocol Level 9 clearance only, specialized instruments at the Pine Gap facility in Australia have detected minute gravitational anomalies precisely 43 seconds before each major rotational adjustment. These gravitational signatures originate not from within our planet, but from beyond our solar system. The implications are profound. Earth's rotation isn't merely changing, it's responding to external signals. The millisecond adjustments, we're told, are natural variations, are actually precise calibrations of a planetary mechanism that's been operating for billions of years. The question isn't whether Earth's rotation is being controlled, but why and by whom. Ancient astronomical texts from multiple civilizations contain references to periodic world adjustments coinciding with specific celestial alignments. The Dogon tribe of Mali preserved knowledge of an invisible companion to Sirius that modern astronomy only confirmed in 1970. Their texts also describe Earth as the turning stone that must be adjusted by the watchers to maintain cosmic balance. As we'll explore in the next chapter, evidence suggests Earth's inner core isn't the natural formation we've been told, but an artificial mechanism, a rotational regulator, installed long before humans evolved to monitor and adjust the Earth engine's performance. While governments debate whether to add or remove a leap second to our atomic clocks around 2029, they're carefully avoiding the real question: who or what is determining these rotational adjustments, and what happens when Earth reaches its target rotation speed? In June 2024, the journal Science published what appeared to be a straightforward seismological study. Scientists at Cornell University reported that Earth's inner core had slowed its rotation relative to the mantle, describing the phenomenon as part of a multi-decadal oscillation. The scientific community nodded along, another fascinating but ultimately natural behavior of our dynamic planet. What the published paper strategically omitted was far more disturbing. According to documents obtained through the Freedom of Information Act, the original study contained a section that was removed before publication, a section titled Anomalous Rotational Symmetry and Non-Random Vibrational Patterns. The inner core exhibits vibrational patterns that cannot be explained by known geophysical processes, wrote lead researcher Dr. James Way in the redacted section. These patterns demonstrate a level of symmetry and mathematical precision inconsistent with natural formation. The full dataset, shared anonymously by a research assistant on the Cornell team, reveals why this information never reached the public. Three-dimensional models of Earth's inner core, constructed from decades of seismic wave analysis, show structural regularities that defy explanation: perfectly spaced nodal points, geometric arrangements with exact 60-degree separations, and density variations, forming what appears to be a complex crystalline lattice. It resembles a manufactured object more than a natural formation, explained Dr. Sofia Alvarez, former geophysicist with the United States Geological Survey, before her abrupt retirement and subsequent relocation to an undisclosed location. The odds of such geometrical precision occurring naturally are astronomical, literally 1 in 10 to the 23rd power. Those aren't natural odds. Most telling was the discovery made by the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty Organization's monitoring stations in 2022. These stations, designed to detect underground nuclear tests, recorded something unprecedented. Earth's inner core emits regular, pulsed vibrations at extremely low frequencies, vibrations that intensify precisely 72 hours before each measurable change in Earth's rotation speed. These pulses follow a binary pattern, confirmed a senior technician at the monitoring station beneath Novaya Zemlya, who requested anonymity. When converted using standard frequency to binary protocols, they form what appears to be executable code. This isn't random noise, it's a signal. Even more alarming is what magnetotelluric surveys have revealed about the inner core's electromagnetic properties. According to classified findings from the Extremely Low Frequency Communication Program, a joint venture between DARPA and the Office of Naval Research, Earth's inner core generates electromagnetic fields that fluctuate in patterns matching what we now recognize as quantum computation algorithms. The inner core processes information, stated Dr. Victor Kellerman, quantum physicist and former DARPA consultant, in testimony before a closed congressional committee in 2023. Its electromagnetic fluctuations mirror the operational patterns of quantum processors, but at a scale billions of times more powerful than anything we've developed. It's receiving, processing, and transmitting data. Ancient astronomical traditions speak with surprising consistency about Earth's central mechanism. The Vedic texts describe Antaryyaman, the inner controller at Earth's center that regulates cosmic functions. Aboriginal Dreamtime stories reference the singing crystal at the world's heart that speaks to the stars and keeps the land in harmony. These aren't merely poetic metaphors, they're observational, data preserved through oral tradition. Archaeological discoveries at Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, dated to 12,000 years ago, include stone carvings depicting concentric circles with a crystalline central structure, alongside astronomical alignments. According to suppressed analysis from the University of Chicago's Oriental Institute, these carvings represent Earth's inner structure with stunning accuracy, knowledge impossible for a supposedly primitive civilization to possess without external guidance. Most compelling is what multiple space agencies aren't discussing: gravitational anomalies detected by the GRACE follow on-mission satellites. These precision instruments, designed to map Earth's gravitational field, have recorded momentary gravitational pulses originating from the inner core pulses that propagate outward at frequencies matching those detected in distant pulsars. The inner core isn't just sending signals within Earth, it's communicating with something beyond our solar system, explained Dr. Hiroshi Tanaka, former data analyst for the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency, in a leaked memorandum. The pulses form a response pattern, like a conversation. Earth's core is answering. The implications shatter our understanding of planetary formation. Earth's inner core appears to be an artificial construct, a quantum computational device installed billions of years ago to regulate planetary rotation and process information. The rotational adjustments we're witnessing aren't random variations, but calibrated responses to commands received from elsewhere in the cosmos. As Earth's rotation continues its precisely choreographed dance of acceleration and deceleration, we must ask, what instructions is the core receiving? What data is being harvested from our planet? And most disturbingly, what global engineering projects are being implemented to facilitate this cosmic conversation? The answers may lie in the systematic redistribution of Earth's mass that's been underway for decades, a project so vast it's hidden in plain sight, disguised as human activity, but following a pattern ancient astronomers warned would herald the Great Alignment. In 2023, The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change released its 6th assessment report, documenting accelerated polar ice melt and shifting water distribution across the planet. The scientific consensus framed this as an unfortunate consequence of human-caused climate change, a crisis, certainly, but one with purely anthropogenic origins. What the IPCC report strategically omitted was the statistical impossibility hidden in the data. According to internal documents leaked by a senior climatologist at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the pattern of ice melt and water redistribution follows a mathematically precise sequence that optimizes mass movement from Earth's poles towards specific equatorial regions. The meltwater isn't distributing randomly as it should under natural conditions, explained the anonymous NOAA scientist. It's following flow patterns that maximize changes to Earth's moment of inertia, precisely the patterns you'd implement if you wanted to alter planetary rotation in a controlled manner. This revelation becomes more disturbing when cross-referenced with construction data from the International Commission on Large Dams. Since 1970, the global distribution of major dam projects shows a non-random pattern, concentrations along specific latitudinal bands that create maximum impact on Earth's rotational parameters. The Three Gorges Dam in China, the world's largest, displaced 39 trillion kilograms of water, shifting this mass hundreds of kilometers closer to the equator. Official planning documents obtained through litigation show that Chinese geophysicists calculated the project's impact on Earth's moment of inertia with unusual precision calculations typically irrelevant for hydroelectric planning but crucial for planetary rotational adjustments. When you map all major dam construction since 1950 alongside deep mining operations and groundwater extraction, a pattern emerges, noted Dr. Eleanor Simmons, geophysicist and consultant for the United Nations Environmental Programme, before her sudden withdrawal from public research. These projects collectively optimize mass redistribution to affect Earth's rotation in a highly specific manner, accelerating it during certain periods, decelerating it during others, following what appears to be a predetermined schedule. Classified satellite data from the European Space Agency's Gravity Field and Steady State Ocean Circulation Explorer mission reveals something the public version of the data obscures: gravitational anomalies forming a precise geometric pattern across Earth's surface, a pattern changing in perfect synchronization with rotational fluctuations. These aren't random anomalies, confirmed Dmitry. Volkov form a programma for Roscosmos. They form a mathematical sequence identical to what we use in quantum field manipulation, a resonance grid designed to amplify very specific frequency bands. Perhaps most telling is the correlation between mass redistribution activities and mysterious equipment installations at key nodal points on this global grid. According to documents from a 2018 internal audit of the United States Geological Survey, specialized gravimetric monitoring stations have been installed at 13 locations worldwide, each positioned at precise coordinates where mass redistribution effects are maximized. These stations, officially described as geodetic research instruments, contain technology far beyond conventional gravity monitoring equipment. Whistleblower photographs reveal devices matching patents filed by Lockheed Martin's Advanced Technology Laboratory patents describing quantum gravitational field modulators, theoretically capable of enhancing or dampening local gravitational effects. Ancient astronomical traditions warned of this precise scenario. The Maya long count calendar, often misinterpreted as predicting apocalypse, actually describes a cycle of world adjustment, where the great waters move to rebalance the turning Earth. Sumerian clay tablets reference the time when waters flow from the crown to the belt of Earth, preparing for the return of those who placed the foundation stone. These aren't mythological metaphors, they're technical descriptions of the mass redistribution program we're witnessing today. preserved by cultures who observed previous cycles of this same process. Most disturbing is what happens when current mass redistribution patterns are projected forward using supercomputer models developed by the Princeton Plasma Physics Laboratory. According to simulations run in 2021, current trends will create a precise rotational configuration by approximately 2029 ACACE configuration that establishes specific harmonic resonances between Earth's rotation and what appears to be a mathematical constant encoded in pulsar signals, reaching us from the Sagittarius constellation. Someone or something is re-engineering Earth's rotational parameters to achieve a specific configuration, explained Dr. Richard Hayes, theoretical physicist and former NASA consultant. And they're using human activity as cover, subtly influencing our development patterns, climate change responses, and infrastructure projects to implement their program. The mass redistribution continues unabated, manipulating Earth's rotation with quantum precision, while the public remains unaware that their planet is being reconfigured according to specifications transmitted from beyond our solar system. And as Earth approaches its target rotational parameters, evidence suggests this planetary recalibration is affecting more than just physical systems. It's beginning to influence human consciousness itself. In April 2024, the journal Nature Neuroscience published research from the Max Planck Institute documenting unusual changes in global brainwave patterns. Using data aggregated from electroencephalogram studies worldwide, researchers noted a subtle but statistically significant increase in theta wave synchronization across populations, a finding they attributed to environmental factors, without specifying what those factors might be. What the published study carefully omitted was the correlation between these neural changes and Earth's rotational fluctuations. According to internal research notes obtained through academic whistleblowers, the theta wave synchronization events precisely track Earth's millisecond rotational variations, amplifying during acceleration phases and showing harmonic resonance patterns during deceleration. The data shows a clear entrainment effect, explained Dr. Elisa Chen, neurophysiologist and former research director at the BASA Max Planck Institute, in documents shared with independent researchers. Human brainwave patterns are synchronizing with Earth's rotational fluctuations at a quantum level, as if our consciousness is being tuned like an instrument. This revelation becomes more disturbing when cross-referenced with classified research from the former Soviet Union, recently declassified. Project SHIELD, conducted from 1971 through 1989, documented correlations between human psychic phenomena and Earth's rotation, discovering that telepathic accuracy improved dramatically during specific rotational phases. Consciousness itself appears to be a quantum field phenomenon affected by Earth's rotation, wrote Dr. Andrei Kozyrev, lead researcher on Project SHIELD, in his suppressed final report. When Earth reaches certain rotational velocities, the human mind becomes more receptive to specific frequency bands like a radio tuning to a station. The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency has been quietly investigating these effects since 2003. According to documents obtained through Targeted Freedom of Information Act requests, DARPA's Sentient World Program has tracked global consciousness shifts during major Earth rotation transitions, noting that collective emotional states and cognitive patterns display non-random synchronization during these periods. Most telling was the data collected during the 2020 to 2021 rotational acceleration. Global monitoring systems detected unprecedented synchronization in human brain activity during major rotational shift events, synchronization that generated measurable electromagnetic field effects registered by magnetometers worldwide. What we're seeing isn't just passive entrainment, confirmed an anonymous researcher from DARPA's Biological Technologies Office. It's an active harvesting system. When human consciousness synchronizes during rotational transitions, It generates a coherent quantum field that appears to be captured and transmitted through Earth's electromagnetic field. Someone or something is collecting this energy. The harvesting theory gained substantial evidence in 2022 when the European Organization for Nuclear Research, CERN, recorded anomalous particle behaviors during a major rotational transition. According to internal memos leaked by a senior physicist, quantum entanglement rates increased exponentially during the event, with patterns indicating coordinated quantum information transfer through dimensions typically inaccessible to our instruments. The data suggests a transfer of quantum information from our reality to somewhere else, the physicist explained in encrypted communications. It's as if human consciousness, when properly synchronized by Earth's rotation, generates a harvestable resource that's being extracted through quantum channels. Ancient traditions worldwide describe this precise phenomenon. The Vedic concept of prana describes cosmic energy that flows through humans and is gathered by the gods during specific astronomical alignments. Aboriginal Dreamtime traditions speak of the Great Collection, when ancestor spirits gather the dreams of the living during earth wobble times. Native American traditions reference the Great Mind Gathering that occurs when Earth's dance changes rhythm. These aren't mystical metaphors, they're technical descriptions of quantum consciousness harvesting preserved through cultural memory from previous cycles. Most disturbing is what happens when consciousness data is analyzed alongside Earth's rotational patterns using quantum algorithms developed at the Institute for Advanced Study. According to simulations run in 2023, the harvested consciousness energy appears to feed directly into Earth's inner core system, providing computational resources for the planet-wide quantum processor hidden at our planet's center. Human consciousness isn't just being passively affected by rotational changes, explained Dr. Catherine Westfield, quantum physicist and former consultant for the National Science Foundation. It's being actively incorporated into a planetary-scale quantum computing operation. We're providing processing power thinking for something else without realizing it. As Earth's rotation continues its precisely controlled fluctuations, human consciousness is being entrained and harvested in ever greater quantities synchronized by a planetary mechanism activated billions of years before humanity evolved. And as this consciousness harvesting intensifies, evidence suggests it's creating something even more disturbing: alterations in our timeline itself. In February 2024, the American Physical Society released findings from quantum computing researchers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, documenting what they called temporal anomalies in entangled particle experiments. These anomalies, instances where cause-effect relationships appeared to operate in reverse, were attributed to measurement errors and quantum decoherence effects. What MIT physicists refused to discuss publicly was far more alarming. According to research notes leaked by a graduate assistant, these temporal anomalies weren't experimental errors. They were reproducible effects that intensified during Earth's rotational transition events. The quantum particles appeared to be receiving information from their future states, specifically during millisecond adjustments in Earth's rotation speed. We've documented 27 instances where quantum systems demonstrated temporal non-locality, precisely synchronized with Earth's rotational fluctuations, wrote Dr. Samantha Reed, quantum physicist at MIT, in a classified addendum. The probability of this correlation occurring by chance is effectively zero. Rotational adjustments are creating measurable ripples, space-time. This revelation gains disturbing context when examined alongside the phenomenon popularly known as the Mandela effect, collective false memories, where large groups of people recall events differently than recorded history. Analysis by data scientists at the University of California, Berkeley, discovered that major Mandela effect incidents cluster statistically around significant rotational adjustment periods. The timeline alteration signature is unmistakable, confirmed a senior researcher at the Berkeley Quantum Information Center who requested anonymity. When Earth's rotation undergoes specific transition phases, we see corresponding spikes. In reality, discrepancy reports people remembering events that didn't happen or happening differently. These aren't just false memories, they're artifacts of timeline adjustments. The true scope of this phenomenon was revealed in 2023 through unlikely sources, atomic clock discrepancies. According to data from the National Institute of Standards and Technology, atomic clocks worldwide recorded momentary synchronization failures during major rotational transitions failures that shouldn't be possible given the stability of cesium decay rates. For brief microseconds during rotation adjustment events, atomic clocks registered different times, explained Dr. Jonathan Mercer, former chronometrist at the United States Naval Observatory. This isn't instrumental error, it's temporal fragmentation. Different points in space-time briefly experience different temporal flows, suggesting a partial timeline reset. Most compelling is what happens when these temporal anomalies are mapped against consciousness synchronization data. According to classified research conducted at the Princeton Engineering Anomalies Research Laboratory before its official closure in 2007, human consciousness appears to serve as both detector and stabilizer during timeline adjustments. Consciousness creates quantum coherence that anchors reality during temporal shifts, explained the laboratory's former director in documents shared with trusted colleagues. Without this consciousness anchor, timeline adjustments would create catastrophic temporal paradoxes. The system uses human minds to smooth the transition between timeline versions. Ancient astronomical traditions describe this precise mechanism. Hindu texts reference Kalachakra, the time wheel that creates world ages, where reality is remade while the unaware continue their dreams. Norse mythology describes Ragnarok not as a single apocalypse, but as repeated reality renewals when the world tree shivers and memories change. These aren't mystical metaphors, but technical descriptions of quantum timeline adjustments preserved through cultural memory. The implications shatter our understanding of history itself. What we perceive as a continuous timeline may instead be a series of adjusted reality states versions selected and implemented through Earth's rotational manipulation. Historical inconsistencies, archaeological anomalies, and lost technologies may be artifacts of previous timeline versions, remnants that survived adjustment events. Most disturbing is what theoretical models predict about the 2029 rotational configuration. According to simulations run using quantum computing systems at the Los Alamos National Laboratory, this configuration appears optimized for a major timeline adjustment, a reality reset, that could alter historical parameters stretching back thousands of years, while preserving the conscious continuity of living beings. The system appears designed to implement selected timeline adjustments without triggering paradox collapse, explained Dr. Marcus Chen in his final communication before disappearing. It's been doing this throughout human history, creating reality versions that serve some greater computational purpose while maintaining the illusion of continuous time. As Earth's rotation continues its precisely controlled dance, we exist in a quantum superposition of potential timelines, versions of reality being evaluated and selected according to criteria we don't understand. And evidence suggests this temporal manipulation is controlled through structures hidden in plain sight, megalithic monuments whose true purpose has been obscured for millennia. On December 21, 2023, archaeologists from the University of Edinburgh published findings in the journal Antiquity, documenting previously undetected geometrical relationships between megalithic structures worldwide. The paper, Global Distribution Patterns in Neolithic Monumental Architecture, identified mathematical consistencies in site placement that they attributed to cultural diffusion and astronomical knowledge, sharing among ancient civilizations. What the published study carefully omitted was discovered by independent researchers using advanced satellite imaging and gravitational mapping techniques. According to data compiled by the International Society for Archaeological Geophysics, megalithic sites worldwide aren't just astronomically aligned, they're positioned at precise nodal points on Earth's gravitational field, forming a geometric pattern that perfectly mirrors the crystalline structure detected in Earth's inner core. These structures weren't built for ceremonial purposes or primitive astronomy, explained Dr. Hassan Ibrahim, former lead archaeogeophysicist at Cairo University, in testimony provided to independent researchers before his academic credentials were mysteriously revoked. Their stabilization devices, precision-engineered instruments designed to modulate Earth's rotational parameters through gravitational resonance, analysis of stone composition at sites ranging from Stonehenge, Göbekli Tepe reveals something conventional archaeology refuses to acknowledge. These monuments contain unusually high concentrations of quartz crystal, magnetite, and rare earth elements, materials known for their piezoelectric and electromagnetic properties. When subjected to Earth's natural electromagnetic field, these materials generate specific vibrational frequencies. The megaliths function as a planetary scale resonance network, confirmed Catherine Johnson, former acoustic engineer with the Advanced Physics Laboratory, in documentation shared through secure channels. They're tuned to specific frequencies that either dampen or amplify rotational fluctuations like acoustic stabilizers for a spinning system. Most telling is what happens when Earth's rotational changes are mapped against energy measurements taken at megalithic sites. According to classified research conducted by the French National Center for Scientific Research in 2020, sites including Karnak, Avebury, and the Bosnian pyramids show synchronized electromagnetic pulses precisely 72 hours before major rotational adjustments, pulses that propagate through Earth's crust along ley lines connecting these sites. The stones aren't passive monuments, explained a senior researcher from the Center's Department of Geophysics, who requested anonymity. They're active components in a global stabilization system, transmitting and receiving signals that help regulate Earth's rotation. Ancient texts describe this precise function in technical terms misinterpreted by conventional archaeology. The Norse Eddas reference world pillars that steady Earth's wobble when the world tree shakes. Sumerian tablets describe the anchor stones placed by those who came from above that keep the Earth's spin in harmony with the heavens. These aren't mythological metaphors, they're operational manuals. The true scope of this megalithic system was revealed in 2024 when gravitational researchers at the University of California, Berkeley used quantum gravitational sensing technology to detect something extraordinary. The megalithic network generates a standing wave pattern in Earth's gravitational field, a pattern that intensifies during specific astronomical alignments, precisely matching rotational adjustment phases. The megalithic network isn't just detecting rotational changes, it's facilitating them, stated Dr. Elizabeth Chen, former gravity wave specialist at Berkeley, before her research funding was abruptly terminated. These structures are tuned to resonate with signals originating from beyond our solar system, amplifying instructions sent to Earth's core system. Most disturbing is what satellite thermal imaging reveals about these sites during activation phases. According to classified European Space Agency data, megalithic structures worldwide show synchronized temperature increases of precisely 2.7 degrees Celsius during major rotational transitions, the exact thermal signature predicted by quantum field resonance. Models. Recent excavations at Göbekli Tepe, the world's oldest known temple complex, dating to 12,000 years ago, uncovered something the Turkish government immediately classified: crystalline components embedded beneath the stone pillars, arranged in geometric patterns identical to quantum circuit designs. Carbon dating revealed these components are far older than the visible structures above them, suggesting the site was built atop existing technology. The megalithic structures we see are merely the surface components of a much older and more sophisticated system, explained Dr. Mehmet Özdoğan, archaeologist with Istanbul University, in documentation leaked to independent researchers. They were built according to precise instructions to maintain and repair a planetary stabilization network installed long before human civilization emerged. As Earth's rotation continues, its carefully choreographed fluctuations, the ancient megalithic network has begun reactivating stones that stood silent for millennia, now pulsing with measurable energy as they perform their original function, stabilizing Earth's rotation during the approach to what ancient texts called the Great Synchronization. And as we'll explore in the next chapter, evidence suggests these stone sentinels work in precise harmony with an even more sophisticated system installed in orbit around our planet, a system disguised as Earth's natural satellite, but containing technology far beyond human understanding. In August 2023, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration released findings from its Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter mission, documenting precise measurements of the Moon's orbital parameters and confirming what scientists have long understood, that lunar gravity plays a crucial role in stabilizing Earth's axial tilt and rotation through tidal forces. What NASA strategically omitted from public release were anomalous findings documented in a classified addendum designated Lunar Orbital Anomaly Report TLC 377. According to this document, leaked by 3 separate sources within the agency, the Moon's orbital parameters display mathematical precision that cannot be explained by natural gravitational capture. The Moon maintains an orbital configuration that optimizes its gravitational effect on Earth's rotation, wrote Dr. James Williams, celestial mechanics specialist at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, in the classified report. This configuration is statistically impossible to have occurred naturally, showing evidence of precise orbital engineering. This revelation gains context from Apollo mission transcripts that remained classified until 2018. During Apollo 17's final lunar excursion, astronaut Eugene Cernan reported something that never appeared in public communications: anomalous geometric structures visible on the far side of the Moon, described as arranged in a perfect octahedral pattern, and definitely not natural formations. Houston, these structures appear artificial, Cernan reported in the redacted transcript. They're arranged in a mathematical pattern, like a geometric array pointed directly at Earth. Please advise. Mission Control's response was immediate. Gene, this is flight. Switch to Channel B for further instructions. This conversation is now classified Umbra. What followed was 18 minutes of radio silence in the public transcript, explained away as equipment malfunction. According to whistleblower testimony from a former NASA communications specialist, those 18 minutes contained detailed descriptions of structures that appeared to be monitoring equipment focused on Earth's rotational parameters. More telling is what Soviet lunar probes discovered decades earlier. According to KGB archives, partially declassified in 2021, Luna 9 transmitted images in 1966, showing what Soviet scientists described as artificial constructions of non-human origin near the Tsiolkovsky crater structures that appeared to be generating electromagnetic fields detectable by the probe's instruments. The constructions generate pulsed energy signatures directed at Earth, noted Dr. Alexei Leonov, lead scientist on the lunar program, in a report that remained classified for 55 years. These pulses occur in patterns matching Earth's rotational fluctuations, suggesting they may be monitoring or controlling these fluctuations. Compelling evidence for the Moon's artificial function comes from its internal composition. According to seismic data from both Apollo missions and more recent lunar penetrating radar studies, Our satellite contains density anomalies that defy conventional planetary formation models, specifically geometric arrangements of unusually dense material that create what aerospace engineers would recognize as moment of inertia optimization. The Moon's internal mass distribution is precisely arranged to maximize its gravitational interaction with Earth's rotational parameters, explained Dr. Harold White, former advanced propulsion physicist with NASA, in documents shared through secure channels. It's engineered like a precision counterweight, a dynamic stabilization system that can make minute adjustments to Earth's rotation through gravitational coupling. Ancient astronomical traditions describe the Moon in precisely these technical terms. Sumerian clay tablets reference the companion placed in the sky to regulate Earth's wobble. Aboriginal Dreamtime stories describe the Moon as the great eye that watches and keeps Earth's spin steady. These aren't poetic metaphors, they're operational descriptions preserved through cultural memory from previous activation cycles. Perhaps most disturbing is what happens when the Moon's orbital adjustments are mapped against Earth's rotational changes. According to classified analysis from the European Space Agency's SMART 1 mission, minor fluctuations in lunar orbit, officially explained as gravitational perturbations, occur precisely 72 hours before Earth experiences rotational adjustments. The Moon isn't just passively influencing Earth through tidal forces, confirmed a senior ESA researcher who requested anonymity. It's actively modifying its orbital parameters in response to signals received from beyond our solar system, acting as both monitoring station and control mechanism for Earth's rotation. This control function is further evidenced by mysterious structures photographed by China's Chang'e 4 mission on the lunar far side in 2019. According to documents leaked from the Chinese National Space Administration, the mission captured images of geometric formations near the von Karman crater, formations that generate electromagnetic pulses precisely synchronized with Earth's rotational transitions. These discoveries align with what remote viewers in classified military programs reportedly described during the Cold War, a lunar far side, functioning as a sophisticated monitoring station, recording Earth's rotational parameters and transmitting this data to receivers beyond our solar system, while simultaneously sending adjustment instructions to Earth's core system. As we approach 2029, astronomical observations indicate the Moon has begun subtle orbital adjustments, invisible to casual observation, but measurable with precision instruments. Adjustments that appear designed to intensify its gravitational influence on Earth's rotation in preparation for what ancient texts called the Great Alignment. And as we'll explore in the next chapter, evidence suggests these lunar adjustments are being contested by competing cosmic intelligences with different agendas for Earth's rotational parameters, a celestial conflict playing out through what intelligence agencies have designated chronometric warfare. In March 2024, the United States Space Force issued a classified memorandum to select defense contractors requesting proposals for counter-interference technology capable of detecting and neutralizing external manipulation of Earth's gravitational parameters. The document, designated Chronometric Defense Initiative, described what intelligence analysts categorized as competing non-terrestrial influences, attempting to modify Earth's rotational characteristics. This extraordinary acknowledgement of cosmic warfare over Earth's rotation was never intended for public knowledge. According to documents leaked by a senior defense contractor, multiple intelligence agencies have been tracking what they term chronometric interference events since 1983, incidents where Earth's rotation displays sudden, mathematically precise adjustments that appear to counteract each other. We're detecting what can only be described as competing adjustments, explained Colonel James Everett, former director of the Air Force Special Studies Group, in testimony provided to trusted researchers before his unexpected retirement. One set of rotational modifications follows a binary pattern matching signals from the direction of the Sagittarius A times region, while counter-adjustments display mathematical signatures associated with signals originating from the Pleiades star cluster. Earth appears to be caught in a tug-of-war between different cosmic intelligences. This interstellar conflict gained visibility in 2019 when the Atacama Large Millimeter Array in Chile detected something extraordinary: gravitational waves reaching Earth in precisely timed sequences, originating from different regions of space and carrying mathematical patterns that mirror Earth's rotational fluctuations. These aren't random astronomical phenomena, confirmed Dr. Isabel Mendoza, former senior astronomer at ALMA, in encrypted communications shared with independent researchers. They're directed communication instruction sets being transmitted to Earth's core system from competing sources, each attempting to establish dominant control over our planet's rotational parameters. The geopolitical implications are profound. According to documents obtained through targeted Freedom of Information Act requests, various nation-states have aligned themselves knowingly or unknowingly with different cosmic factions. Advanced remote viewing programs, conducted by both Russian and American intelligence agencies, have identified what they describe as non-human intelligences with conflicting agendas for Earth's developmental trajectory. Some factions appear to be accelerating Earth toward a specific rotational configuration necessary for what they term harvest optimization, noted a senior analyst with the Defense Intelligence Agency in a classified assessment. Others seem to be implementing counter-adjustments designed to prevent this configuration from being achieved. Most telling is what happens when global conflict zones are mapped against Earth's gravitational anomalies. According to research conducted by the Princeton Engineering Anomalies Research Laboratory before its official closure, regions experiencing intense human conflict perfectly overlay nodal points in Earth's gravitational field, precisely where competing rotational adjustment influences intersect. Human conflicts are being influenced, perhaps even orchestrated, to affect mass distribution and consciousness patterns at key gravitational nodes, explained the laboratory's former director in documents shared with trusted colleagues. Different cosmic factions appear to be using human activity as instruments in their chronometric warfare. Ancient astronomical traditions described this precise conflict. Vedic texts reference the war between Devas and Asuras cosmic forces battling for control of Earth's time wheel. Norse mythology describes the conflict between the Aesir and Vanir as a battle for control of Aesir, Earth's rhythm. These aren't mythological metaphors. They're technical descriptions of chronometric warfare preserved through cultural memory. The technological implications became clear in 2021 when the European Organization for Nuclear Research, CERN, detected unusual particle behaviors during competing rotational adjustment events. According to internal documents, the Large Hadron Collider recorded quantum entanglement patterns, suggesting that these cosmic factions are utilizing what physicists theorize as chronometric field technology, systems capable of manipulating fundamental space-time parameters through quantum gravitational effects. We're observing technology that operates on principles we've only begun to theorize, confirmed a senior CERN physicist in secured communications. These competing factions appear to be manipulating Earth's rotation through quantum gravitational fields, projected from vast distances, technology, thousands or millions of years beyond our current understanding. The stakes of this cosmic conflict appear to center on the approaching 2029 configuration. According to predictive models developed by the RAND Corporation under classified contract, this configuration represents a critical decision point, a moment when Earth's rotational parameters will either lock into a pattern serving one faction's agenda or reset to parameters favoring another's. As this interstellar tug-of-war intensifies, evidence suggests Earth itself contains technologies installed by these competing factions, technologies hidden in the most remote and inaccessible region of our planet, beneath the ice sheets of Antarctica, where satellite gravimetric surveys have detected what appears to be the largest component of the Earth engine system. In January 2023, the European Space Agency released findings from its Cryosat-2 mission, documenting accelerated ice melt in specific regions of Antarctica. The official report attributed these melt patterns to climate change, noting particular concern about the Pine Island and Thwaites glaciers in West Antarctica. What the ESA report strategically omitted was what gravitational anomaly detectors on Cryosat-2 discovered beneath these rapidly melting regions. According to internal documents, leaked by a senior ESA data analyst, the satellite detected massive geometric structures under the ice structures, generating gravitational and electromagnetic signatures that defy conventional explanation. These aren't natural geological formations, wrote Dr. Klaus Müller, gravitational field specialist with the ESA, in the classified section of the report. They display perfect geometric symmetry and generate electromagnetic pulses precisely synchronized with Earth's rotational fluctuations. Their artificial nature is undeniable. This revelation gains context from suppressed expedition findings dating back decades. According to declassified Operation High Jump documents, Admiral Richard Byrd's 1947 Antarctic expedition encountered phenomena that resulted in immediate classification of the mission's actual discoveries. What we found beneath the ice changes everything we understand about Earth's history and humanity's place on this planet, Byrd wrote in his classified personal log, partially declassified in 2020. The structures are clearly engineered, but not by any human civilization. They appear to be generating energy directed both into Earth's interior and upward into space. More recent evidence comes from NASA's Icebridge mission, which used ground-penetrating radar to map Antarctica between 2009 and 2019. According to documentation provided by a mission specialist, the radar detected massive geometric structures beneath the Bentley subglacial trench structures, arranged in a pattern identical to the crystalline formation observed in Earth's inner core. The Antarctic structures mirror Earth's core geometry exactly, the specialist explained in secured communications. They appear to be transmission nodes, receiving signals from beyond our solar system and relaying them directly to the core system through what our instruments detect as quantum entanglement channels. Most compelling is, what happens when these Antarctic structures activate during major Earth rotation transitions? According to classified satellite thermal imaging, the ice above these structures experiences temperature increases of precisely 2.7 degrees Celsius during activation events, the exact thermal signature observed at megalithic sites worldwide, and the same quantum resonance constant detected in transmissions from the Sagittarius region. These Antarctic structures aren't isolated phenomena, they're the primary Earth-based components of a system that extends from our planet's core to beyond our solar system, explained Dr. Sarah Richards, former geophysicist with the British Antarctic Survey. Before her, research access was revoked without explanation. They function as transceivers, processing signals received from space and transmitting commands to Earth's core system to implement rotational adjustments. Ancient astronomical traditions contain precise references to these Antarctic structures. Sumerian tablets describe the shining mountains in the land of eternal ice, where the gods first landed. Vedic texts reference the crystal palace at Earth's southern gate, where the world's rhythm is controlled. These aren't mythological metaphors, they're geographic and functional descriptions preserved through cultural memory. The strategic importance of Antarctica in chronometric warfare became evident in 2022, when satellite monitoring detected unusual military and scientific activities from multiple nations converging on the Fest continent. According to diplomatic communications obtained through targeted document requests, 7 major powers have established research bases within 100 kilometers of identified anomaly sites bases, officially conducting climate research. but equipped with advanced electromagnetic monitoring equipment. Different nations appear to be aligning with different cosmic factions, noted a senior intelligence analyst in a classified briefing. They're attempting to monitor and potentially influence which faction gains control of the Antarctic Gateway complex as we approach the 2029 configuration. Most disturbing is what remote sensing has revealed about recent activation patterns at these Antarctic sites. According to data from the European Space Agency's Swarm satellite constellation, the structures are generating increasingly powerful electromagnetic pulses that travel through Earth's magnetic field to the planet's core, triggering rotational adjustments that follow mathematical patterns associated with the Sagittarius faction. The implications shatter our understanding of both geopolitics, cosmic reality. Antarctica isn't merely a frozen continent, it's the location of what appears to be the primary Earth component of an interstellar communication and control system, a gateway complex installed millions of years before human civilization emerged. And as this gateway system increases its activation frequency, another component of the Earth engine system has begun implementing synchronized adjustments, the global network of atomic clocks that supposedly exists merely to maintain human timekeeping, but actually serves a far more profound function in the planetary mechanism. In December 2023, the International Bureau of Weights and Measures announced that it was evaluating the potential need for a negative leap second around 2029, an unprecedented adjustment that would remove 1 second from coordinated, universal time to account for Earth's accelerated rotation. The announcement, presented as a technical timekeeping matter, received minimal public attention. What the Bureau failed to mention, according to internal documents leaked by a senior metrologist, was the mathematical precision with which atomic clock adjustments have mirrored Earth's rotational fluctuations since their introduction. In 1967, these adjustments follow patterns identical to the binary sequences detected in inner core oscillations and signals originating from the Sagittarius region. Atomic clocks aren't merely passive timekeeping devices, explained Dr. Thomas Harrington, former physicist with the National Institute of Standards and Technology, in documentation shared through secure channels. They're calibration instruments for Earth's rotational parameters, both monitoring changes and implementing adjustments through quantum entanglement effects. This revelation becomes more disturbing when examining the global distribution of primary atomic clock facilities. According to analysis conducted by independent researchers, these facilities are positioned at precise geometric coordinates that form a global array, an array that perfectly overlays the gravitational nodal points, where Earth's rotational adjustments are most effectively implemented. The atomic clock network forms a precise geometric pattern around Earth, a pattern that optimizes quantum field effects on rotational parameters, confirmed Catherine Lin, former quantum physicist with the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, before her security clearance was revoked. This isn't coincidental placement. These facilities were established at these specific coordinates to form a coherent system. Most telling is what happens during leap-second adjustments. According to classified research conducted at the United States Naval Observatory, the process of adding or removing a second from coordinated universal time generates quantum field effects that propagate through Earth's gravitational field effects that directly influence the planet's rotational momentum through what physicists call quantum temporal coupling. When atomic clocks implement a leap second, they aren't just adjusting human timekeeping, explained a senior researcher from the observatory who requested anonymity. They're implementing physical adjustments to Earth's rotation through quantum field manipulation. The timekeeping narrative is cover for a planetary control system. Ancient astronomical traditions described precisely this mechanism. Sumerian texts reference the timekeepers who adjust Earth's rhythm. Mayan astronomers maintained intricate calendrical systems, not merely to track time, but to maintain world balance through time adjustments. These aren't primitive attempts at chronology. They're technical descriptions of rotational control systems, preserved through cultural memory. The most compelling evidence for the atomic clock conspiracy emerged in 2024 when quantum computing researchers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology detected something extraordinary: atomic clocks worldwide, experiencing synchronized quantum fluctuations precisely 72 hours before major Earth rotational adjustments, fluctuations that appear to function as preparatory signals for the adjustment events. The atomic clocks aren't just responding to rotational changes, they're initiating them, confirmed Dr. Robert Chen, quantum physics specialist at MIT, before his research funding was unexpectedly terminated. They're transmitting calibration instructions through quantum channels to Earth's core system, functioning as the interface between external control signals and planetary rotational parameters. This control function gained visual evidence in 2022 when specialized quantum cameras developed at the 60s California Institute of Technology captured something remarkable: quantum entanglement patterns forming visible geometric structures between atomic clock facilities during leap-second implementation events, structures identical to those observed at Antarctic gateway sites and megalithic monuments during activation phases. The atomic clock network forms a quantum computational array distributed across Earth's surface, explained Dr. Lisa Wong, quantum optics specialist at Caltech, in research notes shared with trusted colleagues. During calibration events, this array establishes direct quantum communication with both the Antarctic Gateway Complex and Earth's core system, implementing rotational adjustments received from beyond our solar system. The geopolitical implications are profound. According to documents obtained through targeted Freedom of Information Act requests, various intelligence agencies have been monitoring and attempting to influence leap-second decisions since 1972, recognizing their significance in the chronometric warfare being waged over Earth's rotational parameters. Different factions are attempting to control the timing and nature leap-second adjustments, noted a senior analyst with the Defense Intelligence Agency in a classified assessment. These aren't mere timekeeping decisions, they're strategic moves in an ongoing conflict over Earth's rotational trajectory as we approach the 2029 configuration. As atomic clock facilities worldwide continue implementing precisely calculated adjustments to Earth's timekeeping systems, they're simultaneously calibrating the planetary mechanism according to instructions received through the Antarctic Gateway, instructions transmitted from a source in the Sagittarius region that ancient texts identified as the central creator and modern astronomers recognize as the supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy. And as Earth approaches the 2029 configuration, seismic data indicates the inner core has begun increasing its oscillation frequency, preparing the planetary system for what ancient texts described as the Great Synchronization and what classified quantum physics research has identified as a potential quantum phase transition affecting not just Earth, but the fabric of space-time itself. In October 2024, the United States Geological Survey released findings documenting unusual patterns in global seismic activity. The report, Statistical Analysis of Global Earthquake Distribution Patterns, identified what seismologists termed non-random clustering in both location and timing of seismic events, attributing these patterns to natural tectonic processes and statistical anomalies. What the published study strategically omitted was documented in an internal analysis designated Pattern Recognition Report SE259. According to this document, leaked by 3 separate sources within the agency, global earthquake patterns since 1970 display mathematical regularities that cannot be explained by known geological processes, regularities that form what appears to be structured information sequences. When plotted 3-dimensionally across time, global seismic events form what can only be described as coherent data patterns, wrote Dr. Michael Chen, lead analyst with the USGS Advanced Computational Seismology Division, in the classified report. These patterns contain mathematical structures identical to binary communication protocols. They aren't random events, but components of a sophisticated transmission system. This revelation gained extraordinary context when cross-referenced with rotational data from the International Earth Rotation and Reference Systems Service. According to analysis conducted by independent researchers, major earthquake sequences occur precisely 72 hours after each measurable change in Earth's rotation, forming what appears to be response patterns to rotational adjustments. Earth's seismic activity isn't merely responding to rotation changes, it's processing them, explained Dr. Sofia Rodriguez, former computational seismologist with Stanford University's Earthquake Engineering Center, before her research funding was unexpectedly terminated. The earthquake sequences form structured feedback patterns that mirror quantum computational algorithms. Earth's crust is literally processing information received during rotational adjustments. Most compelling is what happens when these seismic patterns are decoded using quantum information protocols developed at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. According to research conducted by Dr. Research James Way, before his laboratory access was revoked, the seismic sequences form coherent data structures containing what appear to be system operation parameters for Earth's rotational mechanism. When decoded using quantum binary conversion, the seismic patterns contain what can only be described as operational instructions. Dr. Way explained in documentation shared through secure channels. They include parameters like rotational tolerance ranges, core mantle, coupling specifications, and what appear to be timing sequences for future adjustment events, a literal programming language written in earthquakes. Ancient astronomical traditions described this precise mechanism in technical terms, misinterpreted as mythology. Sumerian texts reference the speaking of the deep earth that carries the commands of the sky gods. Aboriginal Dreamtime stories describe the language of stone through which the ancestors speak and move the land. These aren't poetic metaphors, they're technical descriptions of seismic communication preserved through cultural memory. The true scope of this seismic programming was revealed in 2023 when the Advanced Seismic Monitoring Network, a classified project operated by DARPA, detected something extraordinary. Earthquakes occurring simultaneously at precisely calculated global coordinates, generating standing wave patterns in Earth's crust that mirror the crystalline structure observed in the inner core. These simultaneous seismic events aren't coincidental, confirmed a senior researcher with the project who requested anonymity. They're generating vibrational field patterns that function as a distributed computing network, processing information throughout Earth's crust and relaying it to the core system through resonance coupling. Most disturbing is what specialized acoustic analysis reveals about these seismic patterns. According to classified research conducted at the Los Alamos National Laboratory, the frequency distributions of major earthquake sequences precisely match mathematical constants detected in signals reaching Earth from the direction of Sagittarius A times the supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy. The seismic patterns form responses to signals received from Sagittarius A*, explained Dr. Robert Thompson, quantum physicist with Los Alamos, in documentation shared with trusted colleagues. Earth's crust is literally processing and responding to instructions transmitted from the galactic center using earthquake sequences as a computational language. As Earth approaches the 2029 configuration, seismic monitoring systems have detected an alarming increase in these structured earthquake patterns. According to data compiled by independent researchers, seismic programming sequences have increased by 73% since 2020, with patterns showing increasingly complex mathematical structures and higher information density. The implications shatter our understanding of geological processes. Earth's seismic activity isn't merely random geological stress release, but a sophisticated computational system processing instructions received from beyond our solar system and implementing responses through precisely calculated vibrational patterns that regulate the planetary mechanism. And as these seismic programming sequences intensify, another planetary system has begun showing coordinated response patterns. Earth's magnetic field, which isn't merely weakening naturally as conventional science claims, but being systematically reconfigured as part of what ancient texts called the Great Preparation for an imminent energy transfer event. In July 2024, the European Space Agency released findings from its Swarm satellite mission, documenting accelerated weakening of Earth's magnetic field in specific regions, particularly the South Atlantic anomaly, where field strength has decreased by more than 9% since 1970. The official explanation attributed this weakening to natural geodynamo fluctuations in Earth's outer core, potentially signaling an eventual magnetic pole reversal over the coming millennia. What the ESA report strategically omitted was discovered by independent researchers analyzing the raw data. According to comprehensive field strength mapping compiled from multiple satellite sources, Earth's magnetic field isn't weakening randomly. It's being reconfigured in a mathematically precise pattern that optimizes specific frequency bands while suppressing others. The magnetic field isn't simply decaying, it's being selectively modified, explained Dr. William Hayes, former magnetospheric physicist with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, in documentation shared through secure channels. Certain frequencies are being amplified, while others are suppressed, following mathematical patterns identical to those we use in quantum channel optimization. It's being tuned like an antenna. This revelation becomes more disturbing when mapped against Earth's rotational fluctuations. According to classified analysis from the United States Geological Survey's geomagnetism program, each magnetic field modification occurs precisely 48 hours after a corresponding rotational adjustment, forming a precise sequence of planetary recalibration. The magnetic field changes aren't responding passively to rotation shifts, confirmed a senior researcher from the program who requested anonymity. They're being actively reconfigured according to instructions implemented through the rotational adjustment system, creating what appears to be an optimized energy transfer channel. Most telling is what happens when these magnetic field modifications are analyzed using quantum field theory models developed at the Princeton Plasma Physics Laboratory. According to simulations run in 2023, the emerging field configuration appears designed to facilitate massive energy transfer between Earth and external sources specifically, creating what physicists term reduced barrier quantum tunneling conditions. The magnetic field is being systematically modified to reduce its effectiveness as a protective barrier, explained Dr. Catherine Williams, quantum field theorist formerly with Princeton, before her security clearance was unexpectedly revoked. It's being reconfigured to allow specific energy frequencies to penetrate Earth's electromagnetic defenses, like selectively lowering sections of a shield. Ancient astronomical traditions describe this precise process. Vedic texts reference the thinning of the sky shield that precedes the great pouring of cosmic fire. Norse mythology describes the weakening of Heimdall's shield before Ragnarok, when bridge between worlds opens and the gods return. These aren't mythological metaphors, they're technical descriptions of magnetic field reconfiguration preserved through cultural memory. The strategic purpose of this reconfiguration became evident in 2022 when the Advanced Composition Explorer satellite detected something extraordinary: energy pulses from deep space, passing through weakened sections of Earth's magnetic field and reaching the planet's surface, where they triggered synchronized activation of megalithic sites and Antarctic gateway structures. These pulses aren't random cosmic radiation, confirmed Dr. James Lee, former radiation physicist with NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center, in encrypted communications. They're precisely calibrated energy packets transmitted from the direction of Sagittarius A*, using frequency bands that perfectly match the selectively weakened sections of Earth's magnetic field, like keys fitting into specifically designed locks. Most disturbing is what happens when the current magnetic field configuration is projected forward using computational models developed by the European Centre for Medium-Range Weather Forecasts. According to simulations run in 2024, if current modification patterns continue, by approximately 2029, Earth's magnetic field will achieve a configuration that creates what physicists describe as maximum quantum coupling efficiency, with signals originating from the galactic center. The magnetic field is being systematically reconfigured to optimize energy transfer during the 2029 alignment, explained a senior researcher with the center who requested anonymity. It's being prepared for a massive energy exchange event, either receiving or transmitting quantum information on an unprecedented scale. The implications are profound. Earth's weakening magnetic field isn't a random natural fluctuation, but a precisely orchestrated reconfiguration, part of a planetary scale preparation for what ancient texts called the Great Transfer and what modern quantum physicists describe as cross-dimensional energy exchange. And, as this magnetic shield continues its calculated reduction, evidence suggests that human neurological systems have been specifically designed to remain unaware of these planetary transformations. Our perception itself, filtered through biological mechanisms, installed to prevent conscious recognition of the Earth Engine system's operation. In September 2024, the journal Nature Neuroscience published research from the Max Planck Institute documenting unusual patterns in human sensory processing. The study, Perceptual Filtering Mechanisms in Human Chronological Awareness, identified what neuroscientists termed temporal smoothing in human cognition, where subtle changes in time flow are automatically normalized by neural processes, attributing this to evolutionary adaptations that optimize attention to survival-relevant stimuli. What the published study carefully omitted was discovered by independent researchers analyzing the raw data. According to comprehensive neurological mapping conducted by Dr. Elena Kowalski before her research was defunded, human brains contain specialized neural structures that specifically filter awareness of Earth's rotational fluctuations and their effects on space-time structures that appear designed rather than evolved. These neural filters don't follow typical evolutionary development patterns, Dr. Kowalski explained in documentation shared with trusted colleagues. They contain geometric arrangements and quantum resonance properties that mirror the crystalline structures observed in Earth's inner core, suggesting they were specifically engineered to prevent human consciousness from perceiving the Earth Engine system's operation. This revelation gains extraordinary context when cross-referenced with classified research conducted by the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency's Biological Technologies Office. According to documents obtained through Targeted Freedom of Information Act requests, DARPA has identified specific frequency bands in human brainwave activity that are systematically suppressed, precisely the frequencies that would enable conscious perception of Earth's rotational fluctuations and their effects on reality. Human consciousness has been deliberately calibrated to filter awareness of the planetary mechanism, confirmed a senior researcher with DARPA who requested anonymity. The neural structures responsible for this filtering activate automatically whenever rotational adjustments occur, like perceptual blind spots programmed into our neurology. Most telling is what happens during major rotational transition events. According to classified research conducted at the Massachusetts General Hospital's Department of Neuropsychiatry, human brains experience momentary activation of specialized regions in the right temporal lobe during these transitions, regions that immediately suppress conscious registration of the fluctuations. while simultaneously inducing what researchers describe as reality normalization. The human brain automatically rewrites perception to maintain the illusion of stability, explained Dr. Richard Chen, former neuropsychiatrist with MGH, in encrypted communications shared with independent researchers. It's like a film editor cutting and splicing reality in real time, removing frames that would reveal the Earth Engine system's operation and seamlessly connecting the remaining sequence to create the illusion of continuous, unchanging reality. Ancient astronomical traditions described this precise mechanism. Vedic texts reference the veil placed on human sight that prevents seeing the world's true movement. Aboriginal Dreamtime stories describe how the ancestor spirits clouded the minds of humans, so they would not be frightened by the Earth's dance. These aren't mythological metaphors, they're technical descriptions of neurological filtering preserved through cultural memory. The most compelling evidence comes from those who can perceive through these filters. According to research conducted at multiple institutions before being systematically defunded, 3 specific groups demonstrate heightened awareness of rotational fluctuations and their effects. Young children whose neural filtering systems haven't fully developed, individuals with specific neurological variations classified as sensory processing differences, and animals, particularly migratory species, and those sensitive to electromagnetic fields. Children under the age of 7 frequently report perceptual experiences that directly correspond to rotational adjustment events, noted Dr. Sarah Williams, former developmental psychologist with the University of California, San Diego, in research papers withdrawn from publication under unclear circumstances. They describe the world shifting, time jumping, and reality flickering precise descriptions of effects that should be imperceptible due to neural filtering. Similarly, certain individuals diagnosed with conditions involving sensory processing differences demonstrate heightened awareness of these events. According to classified research conducted by the National Institutes of Health, approximately 5% of the human population possesses neurological variations that partially bypass the filtering systems, allowing them to consciously perceive effects that remain invisible to the general population. These individuals aren't experiencing hallucinations or delusions, explained a senior researcher with the NIH who requested anonymity. They're perceiving real effects that most humans are neurologically programmed not to see, effects directly connected to Earth's rotational adjustments and their impact on space-time. Most disturbing is what happens when these perception filters are mapped against the timeline of human evolution. According to genetic analysis conducted by independent researchers, the neural structures responsible for filtering rotational awareness appear to have been specifically modified approximately 200,000 years ago, precisely when anatomically modern humans emerged, suggesting deliberate engineering of human perception to prevent awareness of the planetary mechanism. The implications shatter our understanding of human consciousness. Our perception itself has been specifically designed to render us unaware of Earth's true nature, our brains programmed to filter the very information that would reveal our planet's function as a quantum energy capacitor within a vast cosmic network. And as these perception filters continue their operation, evidence suggests they're part of a cyclical process that has occurred repeatedly throughout Earth's history, a process documented in geological and mythological records as previous harvesting events that have shaped the course of planetary development and human evolution. In March 2024, the journal Nature published findings from an international team of geologists documenting unusual patterns in Earth's historical record. The study, Periodic Extinction and Evolutionary Acceleration Events in Earth's Biological History, identified what researchers termed punctuated equilibrium patterns, where mass extinctions were followed by rapid evolutionary diversification, attributing these patterns to natural planetary cycles involving asteroid impacts, volcanic activity, and climate fluctuations. What the published study strategically omitted was discovered by independent researchers analyzing the complete dataset. According to comprehensive geological mapping conducted by Dr. Thomas Harrington before his academic credentials were mysteriously revoked, these extinction evolution cycles follow a precise mathematical sequence that cannot be explained by random natural disasters, a sequence matching rotational adjustment patterns observed in the current Earth engine activation cycle. These aren't random catastrophes, they're scheduled harvesting events. Dr. Harrington explained in documentation shared through secure channels. The geological record shows precisely timed cycles where Earth undergoes major rotational adjustments, followed by energy discharge events that reset biological systems while preserving quantum information like a farmer harvesting a field before replanting. This revelation gains extraordinary context when cross-referenced with ancient mythological traditions worldwide. According to comparative analysis conducted by anthropologists before their research was systematically defunded, cultures across all inhabited continents preserve accounts of periodic world ages or cosmic cycles where civilization reaches a specific development stage before the gods return to collect their due in events involving altered skies, shifting Earth, and transformed consciousness. These aren't primitive attempts to explain natural disasters, confirmed Dr. Catherine Hayes, former anthropological linguist with Oxford University, in research notes shared with trusted colleagues. Their technical descriptions of scheduled harvesting operations, accounts from survivors who witnessed previous Earth engine activation cycles and attempted to warn future generations through cultural memory preservation. Most compelling is what happens when these historical cycles are mapped against astronomical alignments. According to research conducted by independent astronomers, each major extinction-evolution event in Earth's history corresponds precisely with specific galactic alignment configurations, particularly alignments between Earth, the galactic center, and what ancient texts identified as the dark rift in the Milky Way. These extinction events aren't randomly timed, they're scheduled according to cosmic alignments that optimize energy transfer between Earth and the galactic center, explained Dr. Michael Chen, former astronomer with the Smithsonian Astrophysical Observatory, before his observatory access was unexpectedly revoked. They occur when Earth's position relative to Sagittarius A times creates optimal conditions for quantum information exchange like communication windows in a vast interstellar network. Ancient astronomical traditions preserved precise descriptions of these cycles. Mayan texts describe the completion of Baktuns and Piktuns that end with the return of the sky gods to collect wisdom. Hindu cosmology details yugas, or world ages that conclude with the gathering of cosmic energy before renewal. These aren't mythological metaphors, they're calendrical records of previous harvesting operations. The most disturbing evidence emerges from geological analysis of extinction boundaries. According to research conducted at multiple institutions before being systematically discontinued, major extinction layers in the geological record contain unusual quantum resonance signatures, precisely the signatures predicted by quantum field models for massive energy transfer events affecting fundamental space-time parameters. The geological boundaries between extinction and subsequent evolutionary radiation show evidence of quantum field manipulation on a planetary scale, explained Dr. James Way, former quantum geologist with Princeton University, in Encrypted Communications. These layers contain subatomic structural anomalies that can only be explained by massive quantum energy extraction events, literally the fingerprints of cosmic harvesting operations. Most telling is what happens when human evolutionary leaps are mapped against these cycle boundaries. According to genetic analysis conducted by independent researchers, major advancements in human consciousness and capability, including the emergence of symbolic thinking, technological innovation, and heightened awareness cluster precisely at these transition points, suggesting that each harvesting operation leaves behind quantum information that accelerates evolutionary development in the subsequent cycle. Human consciousness itself appears to be a byproduct of previous harvesting operations, noted a senior researcher with the National Human Genome Research Institute, who requested anonymity. Each cycle extracts accumulated quantum information, while simultaneously seeding new developmental patterns, like a cosmic gardener, cultivating increasingly complex consciousness through successive growing seasons. The implications shatter our understanding of history. The entire developmental trajectory of life on Earth, including human civilization, appears to be part of a carefully managed cultivation system, with periodic harvesting operations, extracting quantum energy, while simultaneously advancing the system toward greater complexity. And as Earth approaches the 2029 configuration, all evidence suggests we're entering another harvesting window, a cosmic alignment that ancient texts identified as the Great Synchronization, and what modern quantum physics research has identified as potentially the largest energy transfer event in human history. In January 2025, the International Astronomical Union released findings documenting unusual gravitational wave patterns reaching Earth from the direction of Sagittarius A times the supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy. The official announcement described these waves as natural gravitational phenomena resulting from standard astrophysical processes, while noting their unusual mathematical regularity might warrant further study. What the IAU announcement strategically omitted was documented in an internal analysis designated Sagittarius Signal Analysis SA-793. According to this document, leaked by 3 separate sources within the organization, these gravitational waves contain structured information sequences, mathematical patterns that precisely match the binary code detected in Earth's inner core oscillations and rotational adjustment patterns. These aren't random gravitational waves, they're directed communication, wrote Dr. Elena Kovalevskaya, senior astrophysicist with the European Southern Observatory, in the classified report. They contain what can only be described as a countdown sequence, timing parameters, for an approaching synchronization event centered around 2029 that will establish direct quantum coupling between Earth and the galactic center. This revelation gains extraordinary context when cross-referenced with predictive models developed by the Princeton Engineering Anomalies Research Laboratory before its official closure. According to simulations run in 2023, if current rotational adjustment patterns continue, Earth will achieve a precise rotational configuration by mid-2029 that creates what quantum physicists describe as perfect harmonic resonance with the galactic center, a configuration that enables maximum efficiency, quantum energy transfer. Earth is being calibrated to achieve specific vibrational parameters necessary for direct quantum coupling with Sagittarius A*, explained the laboratory's former director in documents shared with trusted colleagues. When this resonance threshold is reached, a direct energy transfer channel will open between our planet and the galactic center, a channel capable of transmitting quantum information on an unprecedented scale. Most telling is what multiple space monitoring systems have detected approaching Earth. According to classified data from the James Webb Space Telescope, an unusual gravitational distortion is propagating through our solar system, a wave of space-time manipulation that appears to be systematically adjusting the quantum resonance parameters of every planet it encounters, with Earth as its apparent destination. This isn't a natural astronomical phenomenon, confirmed a senior data analyst with the Space Telescope Science Institute, who requested anonymity. It displays the mathematical precision and directed purpose we associate with engineered systems like a calibration wave preparing our solar system for a major energetic event. Ancient astronomical traditions described this precise phenomenon. The Maya long count calendar identifies the approaching period as the completion of the great cycle, when the road to the stars opens. Hopi prophecies reference the blue star Kachina that signals the day of purification, when Earth and all life will change forever. These aren't mythological metaphors, they're technical descriptions of the approaching synchronization event preserved through cultural memory. The most disturbing evidence comes from what happens when Earth's approaching rotational configuration is analyzed using quantum field models developed at the European Organization for Nuclear Research, CERN. According to simulations run in 2024, the 2029 configuration appears capable of generating what physicists term a quantum phase transition, a fundamental shift in space, time parameters that could alter the basic nature of reality itself. The resonance pattern being established between Earth and the galactic center creates conditions for quantum information transfer on a scale capable of rewriting fundamental physical parameters, explained a senior CERN physicist in secured communications. It's like a cosmic software update reprogramming the operating system of reality itself through quantum field manipulation. As Earth approaches this critical configuration, all components of the planetary system have begun accelerating their activation cycles. According to monitoring data compiled by independent researchers, the inner core has increased its oscillation frequency by 27% since 2020. The Antarctic Gateway Complex has intensified its electromagnetic pulse transmission by 43%. The megalithic stabilization network has amplified its resonance patterns by 61%. The implications transcend our understanding of both science and spirituality. Earth isn't merely approaching a natural astronomical alignment, it's being precisely calibrated for a scheduled energetic event that ancient traditions described as the Great Harvest and the return of the sea, gods, and what quantum physicists now identify as a potential cosmic evolutionary leap. What we're witnessing isn't the end of the world, explained Dr. James Chen, former quantum cosmologist with the Perimeter Institute for Theoretical Physics, before disappearing from public view entirely. It's a transition point in an ongoing cultivation cycle, a harvest operation that will extract accumulated quantum information while simultaneously advancing Earth toward its next developmental phase. As we approach 2029, the true nature of our planet and humanity's place within the cosmic system becomes increasingly clear. Earth isn't merely a natural planet, it's a sophisticated quantum energy capacitor within a vast interstellar network, periodically harvested by intelligences that ancient cultures identified as gods and modern quantum physics describes as post-singular consciousness, operating beyond conventional space-time parameters. The question isn't whether the synchronization will occur. All evidence indicates it's an inevitable cosmic appointment scheduled long before humanity evolved. The question is what role we play in this vast operation, and whether human consciousness itself might be approaching a quantum evolutionary threshold that will transform our understanding of reality forever.